So I have a question for you. Have you felt disconnected from Mother Earth, disconnected from nature, disconnected from yourself? Well, fortunately, if that's the case, and even if it's not, I invite you to listen to Jaime Fleres today, who's our special guest, who's going to offer some tips on nurturing our natural connection to the earth. My name's Eddie Lashur. Margaret and I are a mindful emergence where we offer simple tips, simple steps for people to get unstuck and access their own inner resources by using mindfulness, movement, and breathing practices. So, as I mentioned, I have with me today, I'm very happy about this, Jaime Fleres. And Jaime is an intuitive soul guide, shamanic astrologer, and sound healer devoted to helping people anchor into the truth of their being, find clarity of purpose, and courageously express themselves in the world. While Jaime works through many modalities, including archetypal astrology, embodied movement, and deep imagery journey work, her service is centered around connecting people back to their wholeness, clearing patterns that no longer serve, and helping people live into the love that they are. Jaime offers private and small group sessions as a soul guide, astrologer, sound healer. She also offers courses, immersions, and retreats, both online and in person. And I will say that both Margaret and I have done astrology sessions with her that have been very helpful. And we're just really pleased that she's with us today. So, nurturing our natural connection to the earth, Jaime, what can you share with us that might help us today?
Yeah. Well, this is one of the things that I come back to again and again, both in my personal life and then also in my work, which is coming into connection and back into the relational field with nature, with the natural world. And, we have a lot that kind of works, not necessarily against us, but, we live, increasingly in the digital world, which is a beautiful space. This is where we are now, right? It's a beautiful place to connect, but it's easy to lose or loosen our connection to the natural world. And in this time of massive transformation and everything that we all are navigating, that connection to the earth is absolutely essential. So Eddie, when you asked me, like, if you could offer one thing, what would it be? I would say go into nature every day. So what I would like to offer is some more about how to go into nature,
Hmm.
because a lot of us can go in and maybe we're with a friend and we're just in the mental and we're just connecting with them. And that can be beautiful. That can be a great connection with another human. The kind of relationship, the kind of interaction I'd like to offer as far as how we relate to nature is going in ideally solo or with a partner or a friend, but kind of cultivating that space of silence. And what I'd like to offer is a way of going into nature which is very relationship based. So a lot of the work that I do is very relational. How do we tend to the relational web and create wholeness? And so we can do that with nature. So I want to offer, and this might have not been something that this is not something that we're taught, is to go in as if you're in a relationship with, right? So I tend to be animistic in the sense that all things are imbued with life. So nature is imbued with life. You go into a forest and you're interfacing, whether you're conscious of it or not, with many other beings, with the trees, with the earth, with the sky, with the animals, everything. So when we can tune into that relational field, there's a lot for us there. There's a lot of resource there for our bodies, for our spirits, on all levels. So there's a lot of ways, we could go much deeper, but really entering in a relational field is, walking into nature with an openness and an awareness, with wonder and curiosity, if that's
Hmm.
available to you, really being with what is, when you're walking through nature, being an observer, being a noticer. We naturally exchange with the earth all the time. We do it through our breath, right? We inhale in this oxygen, we exhale out the carbon dioxide. So we're doing it all the time. This is a process of us bringing our intentionality and our awareness to the exchange that's happening with our environment all the time. And the beautiful thing that happens with nature is that she offers such a resource for us, and this isn't, we don't go in to take, we go in to relate. And so we're both giving and receiving anytime we go into nature. We are giving of our presence, of our consciousness, and that can look like simply noticing. That can look like offering a song or offering, an appreciation. which is absolutely felt by the natural world. And we can also receive, we can receive nourishment. We can receive, Earth is really good at holding with us what we're holding as humans. So there's lots and lots of exchange that can happen, opportunities for exchange with the natural world, and being in relationship, remembering our relationship with the natural world. So that's a lot of, some ideas, but really the simple thing is go in with the intention of being open to what happens, and it might be, oh, I just took a nice walk through and I noticed some things I'd never noticed before. It might be that you sit by a tree and you say, oh, tree, I have so much to say.
Mm.
And you have a conversation. And it might sound crazy at first. You might feel like you're making up a conversation, but just be open, be
Yeah.
curious. What happens if I sit with a tree and I say, hey, tree, this is what's in my heart right now? What becomes possible? Or I'm just going to sit on the earth here in the sun and just take a few breaths. Just noticing what happens for you when you do that.
Doesn't sound crazy to me. There's a hike that Margaret and I like to do that's fairly close, and there's a stream that we can walk over and sit next to the stream. And I swear sometimes I seems like the stream's talking to me,
Yeah.
you know? And one time I was doing this in Sedona, and I on Oak Creek Canyon, and as I was sitting by the stream, and I just closed my eyes and I opened, an eagle flew right over my head. And because of the canopy, it was only about 10 feet above my head. And I thought, wow, there's a message. Wow.
Yeah.
But just being quiet and being open.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Our beings are naturally
Yeah.
attuned to the earth, and we've forgotten that in our civilized kind of cultured ways. And so, but it's always a resource. And at this time when a lot of us are moving through a lot, our human to human relations can be challenging, and it offers us a different, nature offers us a space of neutrality and a space that's larger than our human to human interactions, that gives us a different kind of nourishment and a different kind of nurturing and resourcing that we need. And it's just one of the most powerful ways to
Yeah.
reconnect with ourselves and resource so that we can move through the human to human world
Yeah.
and all the things that we go about doing.
And maybe we can't get to the woods, but we can go out in the yard or we can go to a park, right?
Yeah. You
Every
can have a
day.
relationship with a plant that lives in,
Yeah.
I've got a lot back here, work with
Yeah.
them, be in relationship with them.
Yeah. Well, that's a great tip. And it's something anybody can do, right?
Yep.
Just, it's all about intention,
Yeah.
making that connection, having that relationship. So I also know that you're very involved with astrology, and of course that's a whole nother conversation, but I presume that paying attention to what's going on in that realm also plays a part in this. And I know that when people connect with you on Instagram and so on, that you offer teachings and resources and so on, bringing that in as well. How can people get a hold of you, Jamie, and learn more about what you're doing and so on?
Yeah, Eddie, thanks for asking. I'm pretty active on Instagram these days. My handle is at jamieflares.com.
And
And
could you
that's,
spell Flaris?
yeah, so it's JaimefLeres. And that's where you can find me on Instagram. And then my business is called Sacred Heart Healing Arts. And so my website is just the same, sacredhearthealingarts.com. And yes, I do private readings, I do soul guidance work, and I'm building some retreats and some in-person immersions this year so that we can really be with nature and engage in that larger field and in that larger relational context as we do the work of healing and holding. So
Wow. Well, thanks so much for offering that, spending some time with us. And folks, give us make some comments. And if you have something for Jamie, I'll make sure I pass that along to her and we'll get a response back to you if you're looking for that. And of course, give us a thumbs up if you like this video. And if you're enjoying the channel and want more, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. And thanks very much for watching. And thank you again, Jamie.
thank you so much, Eddie. Pleasure to be with you today.